Hey, this is Dempsey at the start of the show here. This episode was recorded on December 6th, 2024. And I think it's important to put the date at the start of the episode because that gives context to a lot of the conversation that we're happening. So this was recorded on December 6th, 2024.
So I was chatting with my girlfriend Rachel earlier today because I was like, oh man, I need to think about what to do for the podcast. And she was like, oh, why don't you talk about dogs? And I was like, that doesn't seem, I was like, I don't know what we would do for that. And then I did kind of go on a tangent in my head to be like, we could talk about like how games these days are always like, they let you pet the dog. And I was like, I don't know if that would go anywhere. So it's like one thought. But then I was like, oh, it would be cool. Well, I was like, well, what else could we talk about? She was like, oh, you could talk about food. And I was like, I feel like you're missing what we do on this podcast. But then she had mentioned, right? She's like, why don't you talk about dogs or food? I'm like, it's not helpful. But then she was like, yeah, it's kind of weird how in Minecraft you eat food and like you could just like eat raw meat and stuff. And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right. I feel like this isn't a cold open. This is just me explaining the topic.
Well, there you go. Welcome to Overthinking Games. This is a podcast about what video games can teach us. My name is Katie, and I'm joined by our two other hosts, Seth.
Hi, I'm leading the episode today. Smile.
And Dempsey.
I think like the dog question could have lent into like companion characters, like what it's like to have a pet in a video game. I think that could have gone somewhere, and like show and
or
like
even like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, and like or like showing affection in video games as well, because like Ghost of Tsushima, you can pet the fox, and that's not a companion character, but like the fox leads you. Like I don't know. I think like showing affection, like press X to hug someone, I think is like a very interesting. Like, yeah, press F, right? Is that what it is? I know memes. Anyways, welcome to the podcast. Hi.
All right, take us away, Seth. You're in charge.
Yeah, for some reason I felt like Dempsey didn't. Never mind. I'm tired. We're recording on a Friday. We usually record on Wednesday. I'm tired. Anyway, before we actually get into what we do this week, before we get into what we're going to talk about this week, we got to talk about what we played this week. And I'll go first because I'm just going to keep it quick. I've been playing RuneScape all week, baby. It's great.
Oh, no. It dragged you back in.
It dragged me back in. They got a temporary game mode going on. It's sick. I'm having a fantastic time. All of the skills have like 12 times XP rates. This usually would have taken me 12 hours of sitting down and doing monotonous work. Now it only takes an hour.
The more you describe RuneScape, the less fun it sounds.
So boring.
Yeah, so true, baby. This game sounds like the most boring shit imaginable. And it is. But it's got a lot of dopamine involved. So that's why we keep coming back.
Okay.
It's a game with like a bazillion things to do. You ever played a game and you're like, I don't know what to do? This game, you never do that. You're always like, I could do this other thing right now. I could do this other thing. What if I learned how to do this new thing? It's great. I'm having a fantastic time.
I'm happy for you.
Like, I already on my like temporary character here, I have 3 skills at max level. And I have no skills even close to max level on my normal account.
Oh, wow. The one that you've put like hundreds of hours into?
Yeah.
Is that because of this 12x thing, or is it because you've been more focused on single areas?
It's mostly like the 12x thing. Plus, they have like insane power boosts. Like, I'm sure I could find it really quickly here. But like right now, my character has like 50% extra damage, 20% extra healing, 100% extra accuracy. I take 15% less damage. My like
Wow.
abilities last 50% longer. They penetrate through like 60% armor. Like you get none of that in the base game.
Oh, okay.
And that's just like my passive abilities. That's not even like all of the like other crazy stuff I get. I like attack more than twice as fast. Everything's crazy.
You just feel OP.
Yeah, I feel it's great. So they just super jacked the power level on everybody. Said, hey, here's like 12, 16 times experience and a bunch of like crazy passive stuff that you can get. Like I can just like teleport pretty much anywhere I want in the game. Saves hours out of my life. I can just like carry around massive stacks of stuff. Imagine like you're playing Skyrim, but there's no encumbrance limit, and any shop, if you buy something, it doesn't actually go away. So you could just buy, like, if you find a shop with a healing potion, you could just buy as many healing potions as you have gold.
Yeah, but doesn't that like take away from playing the game on some level? Like on some level, like those tedious management stuff is the game, and then now there's just less of the game to interact with.
Correct, but the game mode only lasts for 2 months.
Oh,
so they've stripped all the.
I have no. Only lasts for 2 months. That feels like enough time to play a game.
Exactly. So rather than having it be an MMO that takes you like multiple years to play.
Okay, this makes sense now. Okay,
we've jammed the MMO experience into like 2 months.
Okay,
which is great. I'm having a fantastic time. I'm going to be salty when I go back to like the base game, and chopping a tree gives me like, I don't know. I'm currently getting like 300. I'm chopping trees in the background.
That's good to know.
It currently is going to be 3,000 experience. Usually I'd be getting 250. Like,
sure.
Bigger number, better person. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Bigger number, better person. And there's a lot of big numbers. I got an XP drop off a quest. You know, usually the XP drops you get are like, a big XP drop would be like 15,000. That would have been like, whoa. I got like a 500,000 XP drop. I was like, it's got 6 digits. That was the most exciting thing that's happened to me today.
Whatever it takes to get through the next 2 weeks before the Christmas break, you know?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So anyway, what's Katie, what have you been playing?
I've been still playing Hexa Sort Tile Master, or whatever the fuck it's called. Love that game. Love it. I've just discovered that they have these other little game modes in it that all you do is continue to play the same game, but then they've made it a competition, like make it through the next 7 levels without losing, and you're competing against 100 other people, and you want to, every time you go to the next level, you see people dropping off like flies, and you're like, ha, I made it to the next level. And so I feel
holy cow. Hex
successful.
Royale.
Yes. And I'm all about it. There can only be one, and it will be me, except for when it isn't. So that's fun. That's my bedtime game. And then I'm really excited about this week's topic because I am continuing to play a lot of The Long Dark. I used to call it Surviving in the Winter, and the title that I used to describe it has now slightly changed. Now it's Expiring in the Winter, because I keep getting killed by bears and stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about it too much because I'm just looking forward to being able to bring my real world in-game experience to our conversation today. Have I been playing anything else? I won a round of Warzone a couple days ago with my squad. That was fun.
Good job.
So we're really good at that game. Thank you. And that's about it, I think. Yeah. How about you, Dempsey?
So I went on a date.
Oh, yeah.
The date kind of ended by being told, oh, by the way, I have only platonic feelings for you and not at all interested in you romantically. Fine.
Oh.
I made myself feel better by buying a PSVR 2 because that's the healthy response to being to romantic rejection. So it was on sale at Walmart for like $250 off, and it came with Horizon call them out. And
Okay, but you got to stop, man. So for the record, Dempsey told us that he bought a VR before we started today's episode. We were like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, you should talk about it on the podcast. He completely neglected to mention the date thing. Despite
Also,
the fact
I
that
asked-
Katie asked a few days ago in the chat about your date and you didn't say anything.
He said, yeah, it went good. We're going hiking.
yeah, well, yeah, as friends. But anyways, so
Okay. Can't trust anything the man says anymore.
so
Man, am I right?
Yeah.
Mm.
So I did the reasonable thing, and I spent a lot of money on something useless to make myself feel better. And I have a fear of becoming a VR guy because I genuinely feel like VR is a pseudo magical experience. I played a little bit of Beat Saber. I am scared to play Tetris Effect because it seems like it will hypnotize me like into a spiritual experience that I'm not ready for. But I have
Maybe you'll feel like you exist.
well, maybe. But I have played a game called The Last Clockworker, The Last Clock Shop. Hold on. I'm gonna Google
The last clock shop worker.
The Last Clock Winder. There we go. The Last Clock Winder. And it's one of the most beautiful mechanics I've ever played in a video game before. And it could not be done it's only in VR would this make any sense at all. But basically you have like tasks you have to complete in like this pseudo like fantasy steampunk kind of setting. And you get a 2-second loop of movement in VR and you can do whatever you want. And then a robot comes and takes your place and does that movement. And so you can create like really complicated assembly lines with your own movements.
That's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and that is such a satisfying experience. And so it's around like gardening and stuff like that. But like, so it starts off really simple by you kind of just got to get a piece of fruit from one side of the building to the other side of the building. And so you grab the fruit and then pass the fruit. And then you call a robot to come and copy your movement. And then you move to catch the fruits. And then you can get more complicated. So like in the next level, you're throwing the fruit and then catching the fruit that you throw to yourself. And so it gets more complicated from there. But it is so incredibly cool.
That's really cool. Did you ever play the Talos Principle?
I have not. I have it downloaded on my Steam Deck though.
Okay, because there's puzzles in Talos Principle that are similar in that you have to like get the ghost you, like you do something and then you push a button and ghost you does what you just did and then you go and do.
Yeah.
So that's what it sounds like. Somebody took that and said, but let's make it cooler.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so, it's because it's so free, like because it's in VR, you can it feels really limitless. And then it also feels very like I am afraid of getting addicted to VR because of how immersive it is. And like I can really lose myself in VR in a way that I just don't like. So anyways,
a little too Ready Player One.
Yeah, I'm there. I am. Yeah. Yeah. So but yeah, I got the worst VR system available, I think, the PSVR 2. It's like the highest quality, really good technology for the money, has the worst game library. Like PlayStation does not support the PSVR 2 at all. But I have one now and it's really cool and I really enjoyed it. I've also played the Pokemon trading card game, the app. So I collected Pokemon cards, never learned how to actually play the Pokemon game. I just thought the pictures looked cool and it was cool to collect them, but I had no idea how to play the Pokemon game.
As most of us
did.
Yeah.
And so the Pokemon trading card game app, you get, so like the first time you start it up, you get to open like, I don't know, it must be like maybe like 5-10 packs, and then you get 2 packs a day on a 12-hour timer that you can open up packs and you collect the cards. And then I cannot compare it to the actual card game rules because I don't know them. But it's like it's simple and fast, but I think it has a surprising amount of depth. It's a lot of based on like, so you can have a stronger Pokemon, but you have to have the weaker version of that Pokemon. Like to play a Charizard, you have to have a Charmander and a Charmeleon, and you got to play those first before you can have your big strong Pokemon. And so you got to evolve so you can't just like put a Charizard down or like put a big strong Pokemon down.
You have to evolve it.
Yeah, you have to evolve it in game. And a lot of times the most powerful end game like the most powerful evolved Pokemons have the weakest like small states or whatever. And so it's like balancing like, okay, put this really fragile guy out here because if I get enough energy, I can evolve him like in 2 turns or whatever. And I'm still learning how to play, but and the app is really nice. It feels like you're in a slot machine. You can spend real money on it. You can, so there's little items that you get for winning battles, or you can buy them in a shop that take time off the 12 hours you have to wait in between packs. And so you can get them from
that's
either.
how they get you.
Yeah. So you can get them from either winning battle. I have not felt like not spending money has impeded my at all. And I don't know enough about Pokemon. Like I want to slowly build stuff. So for me, it's been fun and free, and you can battle online or I feel like the AI has a pretty good, like the computer opponent has a pretty good difficulty progression to where like I feel like I'm still in like the early, like it's not tutorial, but it's like tutorializing me to understand the combat deeper. But yeah, if you like Pokemon and like think that's fun, it's a really low effort, low commitment thing to do on your phone. The battles maybe take around like 2 to 5 minutes. So yeah, it's fun. And then because we have not recorded for like 2 weeks, I also played.
We recorded last week.
Oh, we did. Did we? Oh, yeah, we did. Yeah, we did. We did. Well, yeah, we didn't record Wednesday. That's the thing. Okay, yeah.
I had a migraine.
Anyways, well, I just feel like I've been playing a lot of video games for the amount of like.
That's a you problem.
Anyways, and I also played the entirety of I Was a Teenage Exocolonist.
Oh my God.
Which for me is going up there with like maybe like Florence and Celeste and games that mean a lot to me. I think it's a game. I think it's very much like video games or literature. I think the actual gameplay is fine. If the actual gameplay was in a worse written game, it would not be worth playing. But it's it's fun enough, and like there's consequences.
There are.
I really want this game to sell a bunch. So there's like this trend with like indie developers, well, they will make one good game and then never make a game again. Like that's just like a very common, and I don't know if it's going to happen with these people, but I would like them to make a version of this game on a bigger scale. I would love a sequel where you just follow these people into their 30s. I really feel like this game, maybe as far as like a video game goes, I feel like has communicated adolescence so well. And like the full development of like being, because you play from 10 to 20 and so you put like from you're age 10 at the beginning of the game, and then you end the game when you're age 20. And it feels like a pretty like authentic developmental experience. I love at like the end-ish of the game, like 17, 18, 19, you're starting to see your friends accomplish things and like gain more responsibility. And that it captured that feeling so well. Like, oh, these aren't just friends of mine, they are community leaders now. Or they have like, and because it's a very small colony, a lot of like, they have a lot more agency than they otherwise would in like a normal community because of how like pioneer, it's like someone taking over the farm when they're 18 or something like that. It's kind of the vibe. But like, so seeing your peers grow up from 10, grow into like responsible adults, it's so beautiful. It's so well done. I love everything about the narrative. It also gets weird. And my spoilers, this is a little bit of a spoiler, but I think my boyfriend transitioned into a god, and I was not prepared for that.
Yeah. I also went that route, and then I was heartbroken. I was like, oh,
Yeah. I think
okay.
I think a lot of people who play the first time will go through that route because I think those are the most obvious mechanics. And if I
So
played
endearing.
yeah, and if I played again, I think I would probably play a different way. But it's I don't know, it's just really beautiful. I really like it.
We
Good
should
game.
have a spoiler cast where we talk about that game in depth. Seth, it's 100% not your type of game, but there's card game element.
Hey,
And you can put it on hard, and that makes it more fun. You have to toggle on hard mode though.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh God, I played that game. It's one of the few games that I played through all the way this year, and at the end of it, it was one of those things where I rolled credits and I just sat there and watched the credits. Like, oh my God, it was just such a touching experience, and so bittersweet because like literally tried my best. I wanted a good ending, and I had a bittersweet ending because life is bittersweet. I don't know. It was good though. I loved it.
Yeah, and it's my this is also a spoiler. I don't know. I want to make a joke that's a spoiler though. I'll make the joke and then Katie can tell me if I should cut it out.
Okay.
It's my second favorite game where you get to kill a kid.
I didn't kill any kids, so.
Oh, okay. Well,
what's your first favorite game?
What Remains of Edith Finch.
Yeah.
You get to kill a kid.
There
in
you
that.
get to
you get to
drown
kill
a
several
baby.
kids in that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so that's all that I have been up to, and then I've been playing Ghost of Tsushima. Continues to be beautiful. Is kind of overwhelmingly big. I think I like the idea of playing this maybe over the course of several months, but not playing it all the time. Like the idea of kind of coming back to it while doing other things is very appealing to me. So I'll probably be playing that in the background for a long time.
Nice.
I actually did have one more game that I wanted to make quick mention of. I forgot about it. It's this game that came out fairly recently called The Bazaar. It's developed by somebody who used to be a professional Hearthstone player. And it's kind of like if Super Auto Pets had the like Slay the Spire style like dungeon progression. But it's presented in a very like Hearthstone-esque sort of manner. It's a fun game. It's essentially like an asynchronous auto battler. But the early access purchase comes with 2 early beta keys. So if either of you guys would be interested in a game like that, I have an extra key I can give you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll drop it in the chat or something, and we'll fight over it, I guess.
Dempsey and I can fight over it, Battle Royale style. And I'll win because I win Battle Royales. No.
Yeah, Katie's more competitive than I am. Also, we have a listener email, a very special listener email, and I thought I would read that before we move on to the topic. So this is from Rob, and Rob is very special to the podcast. Me and Seth will explain why. So he says, "Hey, I'm assuming it's Dempsey that will see this. Good job, Rob. I'm the one that manages the email. Although I think we all have access to it. But he says, it's been a hot minute, but I wanted to reach out and commend you guys for the work you've done with the podcast. I'm a regular listener, and you guys are doing great. I just had time to listen to the latest episode and couldn't hold it back any longer. I wanted to say how much I enjoyed the podcast. I won't lie, I miss chatting with you and Seth about games, but getting to listen to you guys on a fairly regular basis makes up for it. Haha. So Rob helped us prototype the podcast. He was also like, he has kids, and he has kids, and he was getting his master's and working full time. So he had like a very busy life.
And we were also recording a lot of episodes and not producing any episodes.
Yeah, because I was struggling to figure out how to do everything, and poor Rob.
Yeah, poor Rob. So,
but
Rob, we'll get you on sometime if you're here.
Yeah, legitimately, we can talk about Deep Rock Galactic. I think
he's still playing it.
Yeah, I know he really liked it when we talked. Anyways, yeah, if you have an email that you want us to that you want to send to us, the email's in the show notes. Okay, Seth, what is the topic? What are we talking about today? Dogs?
So, now that we're 20 minutes later, as we usually are.
As usual, yeah.
So yeah, I was thinking about this like simulation game idea, and the idea was really interesting to me that like, yeah, some games, sort of like Minecraft, right? Like you eat food, it restores health. And I think there's something interesting to be said about like games in general. The idea that like, oh, eating food is how we restore health, but that might be even a topic for a different day. But rather, I thought it was interesting that like eating food seems to be like a game mechanic that gets returned to a lot as like something that your character needs to do. Like your character needs to eat food. But like as people, there's things that we have to do all of the time. Like we have to eat and we have to drink water and we have to sleep. And you should probably shower. And you have to poop. And like most games don't have you do those things, or there's plenty of games that don't even like acknowledge that as like a thing that your character is doing or it has to do. And I feel like when they don't, I don't miss it. And sometimes when they do include something, I'm like, oh, that was cool. Or like, that's a cool mechanic. And sometimes I'm like, oh, that's really obnoxious. So even before we get started, I was thinking about maybe we can sort of split this into 3 different categories and sort of have some vocabulary to talk about this. So I was thinking 3 categories. One of them is like immersion. Like this is a mechanic designed for you to be like immersed into this game. And I'm thinking there's like a really famous like Skyrim mod that makes it so you have to like eat, drink, manage your like how hot and cold you are. You have to sleep on a regular basis. Like those are like the really in-depth like, oh, I really want to get into like the spirit of this game. So that's like an immersion mechanic. Then there's a like verisimilitude mechanic, which is kind of like a mechanic that's supposed to like get you into the game, but it's really designed to like fit within the narrative. And I'm struggling to think of like something that might be
maybe like in Little Nightmares when Six has to eat.
I haven't played enough Little Nightmares, or any Little Nightmares.
It's like part of it, like you have to eat or you die, but it's part of the story.
Okay, sure. Yeah. And then I think the third set of it is like literal simulation mechanics. And I'm literally thinking of like the game like Farm Simulator, which is like, oh, I have to go like get my tractor out of the shed and then like put gas in there. And then I have to like pick the kind of like combine thing I'm going to tow behind me. And then like you're like really getting into like the nitty gritty of like the simulation here. So I guess just to get the conversation started, I want to, if you have like a game where you're like, oh, this was like a cool immersive mechanic that I thought like contributed to it. And then also like a game mechanic where you're like, man, I get that this was going for realism, but this sucks.
I think an example a lot of people maybe will go to is Red Dead 2, which had a lot of like quote unquote realistic systems. I think in Red Dead 2 you do have to eat, not only to restore health, but you'll like lose weight and then get sickly if you do not eat consistently. And if you eat too much, you will get fat. Yeah. And that also affects your stamina and things like that.
And so will your horse.
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
So I think there's something that makes the game feel like a deeper experience if you even if you don't like mess with Arthur Morgan's metabolism, knowing that you could makes it feel like there's a deeper experience there that you have access to. The same thing like how since like there's like a temperature gauge, and like if you have too heavy of a coat in the desert, you're gonna like lose stamina faster because you're too hot. And like it's really forgiving and not like you can kind of ignore those things if you really want to. But I think there is something about like feeling like a deeper, more immersive experience for having those tediousness. I also just like tedious bullshit in video games. Like I think a way to make Grand Theft Auto 6 better is to make the cars run out of gas, or like every car you pick up like you rob, have like a random amount of gas in the gas tank that you have to account for. That would be awesome. That would be so fun.
You know, it'd be like an insane attention to detail is like, depending on like the neighborhood that you like rob the car from, like the average amount of gas like increases. Like if you're in like a poor neighborhood, like everybody only has like $20 of gas to put in their car at any given time. So there's like
you get lower gas in the rougher neighborhoods. Yeah, I think. I think there's like a level of depth. That's what I get out of like those kind of tedious mechanics, and then also like there's like you said it, attention to detail. Like it makes you feel like you're playing a more impressive experience. Like even if you don't really interact with the systems, it just feels so much more impressive to know that those details were accounted for. So maybe those are two ways that I maybe interact with those. What about you, Katie?
Well, I'm trying to think. Obviously, The Long Dark is all that, so I'll talk about that later. I'm trying to think other games I've played that have like an eating mechanism. I'm trying to remember, did Disco Elysium have something like that?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think,
but you had to sleep.
Yeah, you had to sleep, and you could take substances that would impact gameplay. So you could do
That's
drugs
right.
and cigarettes and alcohol, but it wasn't.
Right.
It was like the substance use kind of impacted you more than like hunger.
Right, that's what it was. Yeah. So, and I didn't engage in any of that because I was trying to be a reformed cop. But the other one I was thinking of is like, it's called Don't Starve.
Oh, sure.
And
That's
like the whole point is to not starve, but you have to like build equipment, and you're exploring and you're crafting like weapons and armor and different technology and all the things. And the eating is like only one of many mechanics that you kind of just have to keep track of. And I think it serves to just kind of make it more challenging, but that's a really hard game. So I don't need hunger to make it more challenging for me, but yeah.
Yeah, I think survival games kind of epitomize this the most, because I was trying to think of non-survival games that have, but I would say Minecraft is kind of a survival game. Like the mode is called survival mode,
definitely.
and then like Subnautica also like is a survival game that has
like survival crafters are like a whole genre.
Yeah, and so.
But like we had talked about, like Stardew Valley is a game.
Oh,
that
I was
has,
thinking of
like,
that too.
Like it's not a 1-to-1 system, but like Stardew Valley has like an energy mechanic, and you need to eat, and then you need to sleep. And so like they're taking some of these mechanics, and they're saying like, hey, we want you to like deal with some of this, but we're not going to have you go through the like farm simulator like literal process.
Minutia. Yeah, I agree. I was actually thinking of Stardew earlier because of the sleep mechanic. But Stardew Valley at the end of the day makes you go to sleep. But also, it's a time management game more than anything. And it uses sleep as its method of forcing you to manage your time.
Yeah, and it like it really compartmentalizes your activity. So I think like Cult of the Lamb, you can kind of do whatever whenever you want, but Stardew Valley you can't. Like if you want to go in the mines, it's really best to do that first thing in the morning. Get your chores done, go right to the mines, and that's your day. And like it really makes you segment your choices a lot more because of the sleep mechanic. Whereas, yeah, like a game like Cult of the Lamb that has a day and night cycle but does not have a sleep mechanic, if you want to like, yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want whenever you want to do it, and there's not that prioritization of like, okay, this is an activity that's going to take me longer. I should do this before noon. This is an activity that, you know, I can do at the end of the day, get all my chores done, and then do this. So yeah, I think it really shifts like the sleep mechanics. I'm trying to think of other games with sleep mechanics. I know there's Moonlighter, which
Baldur's Gate.
There's what?
Baldur's Gate.
Oh yeah, Baldur's Gate has sleep mechanics too. And they only really impact some characters because like fighters do not get impacted by having to sleep as much as like a wizard will. So that's kind of to balance the type of characters you have as well, which I think is interesting.
The sleep mechanic is also used narratively, because when you make camp, that's when like you get your camp cutscenes and you advance stories with the side characters.
Yeah. And I think it also gives you like a sense of camaraderie. Like you feel like you're having a sleepover with your friends in Baldur's Gate, which is a big purpose of that game, is kind of these characters interactions that can happen in a more human environment, which I think, at bedtime helps with. So,
that's that verisimilitude like we were talking about. Like I think when I play actual D&D, I do not fuss with like having to eat food and stuff like that. That's boring. But in Baldur's Gate, it's okay because they've made it palatable. Food joke. Seth's shaking his head at me.
Come on. Talk about low-hanging fruit.
Ay.
Sorry.
Zelda, like Breath of the Wild.
Say, like, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, like they've got.
Oh yeah,
like,
cooking.
Yeah, they've got like cooking, and they've also got like desert. You have to wear like the lighter clothes in the desert that protect against the
or
desert
like
heat.
Fireproof stuff.
Yeah, or like you go into the cold areas, and they're like, "Oh, put on your cold weather clothing."
That's true. That's a good one.
No, you just drink a bunch of potions and then you stay in your underwear.
True.
But yeah, I think that's because Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom kind of veer into that survival crafting. Is where that is where that comes from. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like games that aren't survival sims that have. Like, I don't know that really leans on these elements.
I feel like
as
we're
well.
sort of describing like survival mechanics, but like, I don't know. You could be simulating other things to like play into the game. I'm thinking of because I don't play these games, so I don't know a ton about them. But don't like the Silent Hill games or something. They have like a lot of like little like puzzle locks you need to like solve or something. And that's it, like a kind of like an in-game puzzle is sort of like a mechanic like this, right? Like,
I can see what you're saying with that. Like when you think about the survival management is really just a resource management game.
Sure.
So you can almost look at it like a strategy game or a puzzle game, in that you have to figure out how to keep all of your stats up to where they need to be. In some ways it is then like a puzzle game. Like I think about that with The Long Dark, that I'll have all of this food, but I can't carry it all because it's too heavy. And I know I need, X amount of water and X amount of firewood and all the things in order to make it to whatever my next destination is. And so then it does become a logistical puzzle of how do I make sure that I have what I need without becoming over encumbered, so that I won't freeze, starve, or dehydrate on my way to wherever I'm going.
Yeah, I think logistics is I think a really good word, because like I think if you put that level of logistics management in a game where you did not want a like logistic management experience, I think it would be really distracting.
It's
like imagine
annoying.
Yeah, like imagine like in Elden Ring, if you had to like manage like bathroom breaks, like
right, like it would be it'd be silly.
I mean, I might love. I think I need to get into PC gaming because you think someone's made a mod that does that, like a P meter that you have to.
I'm sure they have somewhere.
I mean, I'm sure they have, but not for the reason that you want them to have done that.
Oh no.
So, the follow-up thing I'm thinking about is like, okay, so if we've sort of said that like the resource management here is like what keeps this interesting, like why do we find resource management to be like so enthralling? And like, why is resource management something that we're like, oh, this is valuable towards my like play experience of this game?
Do you think it's because Okay, so bear with me here. Capitalism and scarcity mindset.
Oh no!
Serious.
This is why we're here,
Serious,
people.
though.
Yeah, cook. I want to
Okay.
see where we're going.
So there is, I think, inside many, if not all of us, an avaricious dragon that would like to be able to sit upon a hoard of whatever it is that we value. And and when you play these resource management sort of survival games, you just constantly get to feed this dragon by amassing resources and creating more things. And like for me, I'm going around regions and I create stockpiles. So I have these bunkers all over the world that are filled with all of the good things that I've found. And whenever I find a new hoard of things that I can pillage, I'm delighted because more. And I do think that comes from a bit of a feeling of like enough is never enough, and you get to kind of play that out in a game without it being for reals.
I like
without the weight of
avaricious dragon of resource management.
Yeah.
And I think when you make it like food and like I'm thinking like City Skylines, for example, that is a game in which feces do matter.
Yes.
Like that is a game in which
Sure.
how people shit impacts your gameplay. And so I think like in survival games like Subnautica, there is something very primal. Like there's something very like this is connecting to my most base needs as a mammal. And I think there's something really satisfying about interacting with that. Because like I guess like you can put whatever wrapping you want on it and it becomes something else. Like, and you can have, instead of food, you can make them gems or magic potions or whatever. And that doesn't really connect with like my primal sense of the desire to continue existing as a mammal.
That's a good point. I don't need to have a reason or an excuse to hunt all of the rabbits and collect all of the food and stockpile it. I know why I'm going to need it later.
And it's interesting because when games don't reward that, I don't interact with it. So for example, Ghost of Tsushima does not reward you for killing deer, even though there's deer in the game, but like you don't get their meat and skin and things like that. And so even though in something like Red Dead, I will kill every deer I see because I want them to sell them meat and things like that. In Ghost of Tsushima, like, so it's not just the act of killing the deer, it's the idea of getting these needs met. But in Ghost of Tsushima, you don't have those needs, so you don't prioritize meeting those needs. And so I think I think there's something when you want to feel like more primal and like more like, I don't know, like the base essence of
Atavistic, is that a word?
Yeah. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
I think it means primal.
Okay. Yeah. Like there's something that's satisfying about that. And also like when you like, there's something that it's a wrapping that you can't fight against, like Katie was saying. Like in the long dark, you can't be like, it's so arbitrary, I have to keep warm. Like, no, it's like, it's a really logical choice if you're in the middle of winter that you have to manage your heat source. And so like, there's something that feels very frictionless as far as like determining a motivation as well, to have like it be these basic needs met. And then it becomes like a Call of the Wild. It becomes like a different genre of literature. Then it's like watching I Shouldn't Be Alive, or like survival stories, or those like 18th century jackasses that starve to death in the Amazon rainforest. Like it's
the Arctic explorers.
Yeah, Ernest Shackleton and the Endurance and things like that. Like it becomes one of those stories, and like it's man versus nature. Like that's one of like the stories that we're able to tell. And the only way to do man versus nature is to use nature to sustenance yourself.
To make
I think
life hard.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is the reason that I like to eat. The reason I have to eat food in Minecraft is because of the man versus nature literary trope.
In the most direct way possible, yes, I think. I
have to eat food in real life, therefore I like doing it in video games.
Yeah, and Minecraft's interesting because
art imitates life, imitates art.
And Minecraft's interesting because you can eat raw meat, but it's better to cook your meat first. And I think,
Sure.
because you might get food poisoning and then you have to spend all of these resources getting over it and then you'll probably die.
and you also don't get as much hearts back. But and the thing is the more the game asks of you, I think the more room there is for self-expression as well. For example, in The Long Dark, I think it's very funny to act like I'm a chocoholic and only eat the candy bars. And because you know what I mean? And
No.
There's candy bars in The Long Dark, right?
Yeah.
And so that's like try to make that your primary food source. That's funny to me. And so like
And then you get scurvy,
yeah.
legitimately.
Yeah. And
But
You have
the
to
fact
manage your
that you
vitamin
get
C in The
scurvy
Long
is
Dark.
also funny, right? Like,
Yes, you have to manage your vitamin C. Eat your vegetables, kids.
and
Have some tinned peaches.
Yeah, I was gonna say
the,
tin
the
peaches.
avaricious dragon of resource management demands vitamin C.
And so I think
Take that one out of context.
I think there's something like like the more tedious they make something, the more self-expressive it is. So like and this I think this goes more into the simulation games that I think was your last topic.
Yeah.
So my favorite simulation game is Power Wash Simulator.
Sure.
And because of like like how I get to express myself in Power Wash Simulator is because of how tedious that game is. And like you get to make little drawings, or you get to decide like, okay, I'm going to do the floors first and then I'm going to do the walls, or I'm going to do all the brightly colored things first, or I'm just going to kind of do everything shitty and like slowly work my way around everything. And there's no pattern. Like all of those decisions that I have agency over, I feel like is a way for me to express myself. And if it wasn't as tedious, I would not have as many levers to pull. Like the more tedious a game is, the more levers you have to pull, and the more levers you have to pull, the deeper the level of self-expression that you can feel in that game.
The more you feed the dragon.
Yeah.
Right. I just read a short story by, I think it's E.M. Forster, and it's called The Machine Stops. And it was written in 1908, which is crazy because it's all about how, this is related, I promise. It's all about how technology separates us from experiencing life and like from our humanity. And some of the things that it talks about, I was like, oh, fuck, man, how did he know? Like, what did they have in 1908? The Model T car and a gramophone. Jesus Christ, he knew. But something he talks about is direct experience, and how people will look to replace direct experience with simulated experience because it is more comfortable. And so I think that's definitely a thing. I never, ever want to be crash landed in the great north of Canada and have to try to survive in the winter in the frigid, bitter cold. I never want to do that in real life, but I will spend hundreds of hours doing it in The Long Dark because it lets me explore, I think, that concept in a very, very comfortable way.
But okay, yes, I agree. I would, however, and do love going on hikes in the snow. And obviously that's not the same as The Long Dark, but I think The Long Dark captures a little bit of what it's like to experience nature when it's cold out. So yeah, I think I think what's fun about the simulation in video games, I'm going to take a positive approach because I feel like that guy was really, I feel like wanting simulation over the real thing. There's something really cool about seeing this experience through someone else's eyes. So like hiking, for example, is something that I enjoy doing in real life. And I also will play video games about hiking, namely a short hike. But it's very fun to see this person's view on hiking explored and what they think is meaningful about it and the kind of experiences that they feel like it emotionally facilitates. And then like the same thing with like Power Washing Simulator. Like I think in order to make a game like that, you have to have a vision about the satisfaction brought by manual labor. And like I think everyone has felt satisfaction in manual labor before. whether that's like cleaning your own car or working a manual job or something like that. And like this is someone's commentary on that experience, like distilled into a piece of art.
Wow, I never thought of it that way. Huh. That's really deep. That's really good.
And so, yeah, and so I think it's true that like I do not want to be stuck in the Canadian wilderness in a plane crash. Like that's not an experience I ever hope to have. But I think there is something about the long dark and like understanding what it's like to walk in the woods, at dark in the wintertime, which is something that can be a positive thing. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we're all just addicted to our screens. None of it matters.
Do you like watching, there's like YouTube channels. I was watching this YouTuber for a while. He's like an older man with a dog, and he goes and hikes in the Pacific Northwest. And he's got like 1 million subscribers, and people watch his videos where he's just hiking with his dog and setting up camp and giving a little commentary, making his dinner over the campfire and all the things. And I was like, this is the level of interaction that I would like to have with the outdoors at this stage of my life. like I don't want to have, I don't currently want to have the direct experience. I will take watching somebody else.
Seth, do you feel like there's experiences that you enjoy more simulated, or that you find meaning in simulated more than you find?
So, I mean, the main thing I'm thinking about is like, I like watching people play video games.
Oh, this is another level. This is another level of abstraction.
Right. Because I have, for more of my life than I haven't at this point, I've watched people on YouTube do Let's Plays and live streams, and I would sit, my brother and I would sit down on the couch growing up, and, you're watching the other one play the game. There's something about watching somebody play a video game that is also fun and entertaining.
Super fun. Yeah.
I could be playing that video game, which in of itself is a simulation, right? As Dempsey said, we were abstracting up a level.
It's becoming an inception of like picture within a picture within a picture.
Right. But like, I don't know, the avaricious dragon of resource management somehow gets fed differently of me playing the game versus me watching somebody play the game. And I don't know what resource is being managed there, but
dopamine mostly.
But like I feel like I would probably get more if I was playing the game. But like, I don't know, watching somebody else play the game also satisfies the dragon.
Do you feel like you would play a watch, like if you took that and abstracted that experience into a video game? Whereas a video game about watching
people play video games.
So there's this television show in the UK and Ireland. It's called Gogglebox. Have you guys ever heard of this?
No.
It is literally people in their homes in, like, I think it's usually England. In England, they're in their homes and they have a camera crew that comes in and records them while they're watching TV. And then we watch them watch TV. And it's hilarious. And I love that show. I watch it when I'm home to Ireland. Oh. I watch that with my mother-in-law. And it's just the weirdest thing. But that's what it is. You're watching other people watch
Do they give
TV.
Like commentary?
Yeah.
Because they used to do this on Twitch.
Just like reaction. Like they're watching TV with their family and they'll be like, oh my God, can you believe that? Like,
that's a reaction video. Commercial. That's funny.
Yes.
Wait, they have like... they have broadcasted React content?
Yes! It's been around for years.
What?
We're not as weird as the old timers want us to think. They did it first.
Okay.
Do you watch streamers, Katie?
The only streamer that I watch is the Gamers Drink.
Oh, okay.
And that I've gone off of TikTok lately, so I haven't seen him lately. But I enjoy watching streams of games that I will never play, and Hollow Knight, because I'm never going to beat Hollow Knight because it's too hard. But otherwise, I don't like to watch streams of games that I want to play because, we've talked about that with spoilers. I like to own the experience and not share it at all. So, yeah, I'm very, very fussy about my stream watching. I also like, there was this one guy, I think his name was like Big Fish or something, and he was streaming cozy games, and he was playing games like puzzle games that I don't like to play, but I liked watching him play. So yeah, pretty much only games that I don't actually like to play.
The only time I will watch, I do not like watching streams, pretty much in any context. The only time I will watch streams is to fall asleep to. So I will put on a Skyrim Let's Play as far as like something comforting to leave on in the background to like me doing other chores or something like that. And it's because
That's what podcasts are for.
yeah, well, yeah, I eat that. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. But I'm not. I feel like a podcast is too engaging somehow. Like it's really hard for me to ignore a podcast. But it is like a little bit easier for me to like wash dishes, and then I can see the dragon, and then 45 minutes later he's in a forest or whatever, and there's something nostalgic. I think the only time I watch Let's Plays is like as window dressing for nostalgia when I want that in my environment. But no, I think actually engaging and enjoying with Let's Plays and streaming content is something that I just never, I don't know. I never knew how to do that. Even when I watch streamers, I will get bored if they don't talk to me. I'm an attention whore, and I'm an attention hog, and I'll like be typing in the chat and things like that. And Josh is great about that because he'll I can have a conversation with him. But like, normal,
and he's the best. Like, he's a great streamer, by the way. If you haven't checked out Gamers Drink on TikTok, check him out.
So like, I actually don't watch as many streamers now as I used to. I mainly just watch a lot of YouTube
or Let's Plays.
Yeah, well, I don't even watch a lot of like Let's Plays anymore. Well, I watch people play video games. Is it a Let's Play? I feel like a Let's Play is a sort of specific like genre of video.
Is a Let's Play when there's no commentary?
No, I feel like a Let's Play is like specifically like somebody like it's a long form of them playing a game.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
It's going to take several episodes to get through it.
Right. Like they've got a bunch of episodes or they're planning on doing a bunch of episodes versus like if somebody does like a one-off, because usually what I watch is I watch YouTube videos of people's streams that have like been edited. So they'll like play a game just to like check it out. That's not like a Let's Play.
Sure.
Or like they just, they found this game that they happened to just like really catch on, so they recorded themselves playing like 100 episodes. Like I guess that's a Let's Play, but also with like I watch a lot of like roguelites, which aren't really like Let's Plays. It's weird.
So would you say it's about the game or it's about the personality? Because how
it's
I put
about
on
the personality.
Okay, because how I put on video game content when it's like a Let's Play of Skyrim, I prefer no commentary at all. I do not care who's playing it. Give me my 2013 nostalgia.
Oh yeah, I watch specifically for like the streamer.
Got you. Okay, yeah, I think that is a very different experience.
I will say I do sometimes watch Warzone streamers. They're really good, and I'm like, I want to learn. So sometimes I'll watch videos like because I want to see how they do things. And then sometimes though, what I've come to learn is that whenever they have like their little shorts or whatever, they only show the part where they're being really badass. If you watch their whole stream, you'll see them make 10th place too. And I was like, ha, it's not just me. It made me feel better. It's like, cool. Yep. Context, man.
There's a marine biologist that plays through Subnautica. And she does like, there's like 10 hour episodes. That's very fun. Seeing Me is a YouTube channel. That's one I haven't watched and enjoyed. She talks about like she commentates on like the hypothetical biology of the Subnautica ecosystem as she's playing through it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I think.
So check that out.
So I guess I do watch. I like when like subject matter experts play video games, like a historian reacts to Red Dead 2, and
or Pentiment. That would be a cool one.
Yeah. I think there is something about that I like a lot.
Okay, awesome. Well, final thoughts.
I'm not going to be able to get the avaricious dragon of resource management out of my head. Like it's such like an encapsulating like force. And I like how it's like you've anthropomorphized like a concept, but in like a very like traditional literary, like it's like a dragon that hoards resources, but they're like time resources. It's like a time dragon. It's like such a good idea. I don't know what to do with it, but it's so good. But just calling it the avaricious dragon is like, avaricious is just such a good word. And then it's got a good acronym. You could call it like the ADORM, like the ADORM.
Adorn. Okay. Yeah,
Like
Adorm.
Adorm
Like
the dragon is already like a good dragon name.
That's a good name. That is a good dragon name. All right. Okay. We are into our final section, which is the honorable mentions. Dempsey, you said you had quite a bit that you wanted to share.
So first of all, I think I'm starting my own religion. Second of all, I read a sci-fi book that was not written by the author I thought it was, and I'm feeling disappointed and also excited. So first of all, I'm like 12% into To Sleep in a Sea of Stars.
Fantastic book.
Which I thought was written by the guy who wrote The Martian. So I was expecting kind of like hard sci-fi. And that's not that at all. And it starts out as kind of like realistic sci-fi with kind of like nuanced personal relationships. And I was like, I'm totally down for this. And then the most batshit sci-fi thing kind of comes out of nowhere. And it really rocked me existentially. But now that I know what it is, I'm kind of along for the ride. It's written by the guy who wrote Aragon, the Dragon series. It's written by a fantasy author, which is not the same.
Paulini?
Yeah.
Yes.
He wrote,
Christopher
he wrote a sci-fi series.
And is it better than Aragon? No offense, Christopher Paolini.
Well, like, yeah, well, because he started writing Aragon when he was like 15. He recently wrote To Sleep in a Sea of Stars. It's a thick book too.
Huh.
It's a big one. It's good. I really enjoyed reading it. There's a sequel that I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah.
I love the title.
That's what sold me on it too, because I have been okay. So this brings me to my first point, which is I think I'm starting a new religion, and so here's the thing. So I think I have been. I'm going to talk about dating for a little bit. Let me be anxious and self-centered. So I think when I am on dates and people ask me if I am religious or spiritual, and I say, no, actually, I'm not. I think that drives a wedge between me and people. Not only like people who are like religious as far as like Christian and things like that, but even people who like feel a spiritual connection to the earth or like believe that like have a lot of spiritual beliefs that are not necessarily like Judeo, like whatever. And I feel like when I say, no, I don't have any spiritual beliefs, I think that does not do well for me. So I have decided to. Have you guys read The Parable of the Sower by Octavia Butler?
I started it. It was very dark.
I love that book so much. And so she starts a religion in that book. And I think so. The girl in whose name I cannot remember starts a religion called Earthseed. And basically the idea is that humans have a destiny to leave Earth. That like humanity should spend its time optimizing to be an interstellar species. And that's kind of the religion in Parable of the Sower. And I think that's how I'm going to start answering the question, are you religious? I'm going to be like, I feel like I have a spiritual connection to the cosmos, and I think humanity has a responsibility to preserve knowledge in a way that so far only we can. And that's my spiritual like belief and connection that we should,
be an interstellar species?
Be an interstellar species.
And you think this will drive less of a wedge between you and potential life mates? Good.
Is that
okay? Good luck with that.
Maybe that's okay. Is that also is that a worse way to answer that question?
Yeah, I feel like you've taken the idea of being a normal person and you've said, what if I just was more weird about it?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one. That's it.
Okay. Well, I'm tweaking it. I'm gonna continue to.
You're tweaking? Okay.
I'm gonna
I mean, we do
continue.
that.
I'm gonna continue to workshop it. It's gonna be a whole. But I just look. It's really hard for me to like. I feel like I should just say I'm Lutheran. On dates, I'm just gonna start saying I'm Lutheran. That's
Okay,
good.
listen, if anyone listening would like to get to know our adorable teddy bear creative genius, send us an email.
No.
Set you up.
If you're single, you live in the greater.
Western United States, like
Do not. Do not. But if you have opinions on how far can you stretch your religion before it's weird, I do want to hear your views on that. I feel like, you know what? Like, people have suicide cults, you know? Like, I
Christian
feel like
white nationalism has something to say.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty benign to believe that like humanity has a destiny to be an interstellar species. That feels so reasonable to me.
You don't lead with that.
Okay.
Right. That's for like
I feel
at
like
least
the
the
much
third
better
date.
solution is for you to just be like, yeah, I'm sort of spiritual, but like, you know, not in any like official capacity.
Say like,
that's
I
a better
really love
answer.
Sci-fi. Yeah, there you go. No, that is actually very good. Good job, Seth.
You're just like, yeah, like I'm like vaguely spiritual, but like I've never really felt connected to like any specific group or anything. But like I feel like there's something out there, and then you just leave it at that.
Okay.
People will
And
be
then
like,
you
yeah,
can
that's a
discuss
reasonable.
that later over like Bailey's or something in a few months.
Okay. So don't bring out the interstellar stuff right away. Okay.
You know, I
gotcha.
just think it's coming in a little hot and heavy, you know?
Okay.
You know what,
That's
Dempsey?
good.
I'd change it. I want you to keep doing that. I want you to go on a couple more. Start with that. Let us know how it goes.
And I want you to record it and put it on YouTube so that I don't have to have the direct experience, but I can have a simulated experience and see what that's like.
Okay.
Okay. Great.
Katie, what's your honorable mentions?
My honorable mention is E.M. Forster. The Machine Stops. It's a very good short story. It takes about an hour and a half. It is on Scribed. I don't know if you guys know about Scribed. It's like a subscription thing where you can get audiobooks and ebooks. And you can also find it. It's in public domain, so you can find PDFs of it. It's really good, and when you realize it was written in 1908, it will blow your mind because freaky deaky. How did he know? It's really, really good. How about you, Seth?
I have nothing even gaming or media related. You guys see that CEO who got shot?
Yes. And people on the internet were like, I'm sorry, you haven't been pre-authorized for sympathy. And I was like, oh.
One of my friends pointed out if you like are reading the news. Okay, so like for the historical context, we are like 2 days after this happened. The United Healthcare CEO got shot. I feel like it reads more like the plot of like a CSI episode.
Mm-hmm.
This dude got shot by some guy who's clearly a trained gunman. The bullets said like deny, delay, dispose.
That's my favorite part of this whole thing.
Like, it's so wild. Like, he's clearly a dude who had some sort of message or is like hired, and it's got like mystery and intrigue, and everybody on social media is like, fuck that guy.
Brutal societal commentary.
Yeah, there's like this like crazy people are like, we don't care that he died because he's a CEO. And half of me is like, well, that's not cool. And the other half of me is like based.
I know. My mom and I were just talking about this. We're like, we can't condone vigilante violence. However,
like I saw somebody point out United Healthcare denies like a third of the claims that get
so
sent
what about
to them.
all of their lives?
Like all those people are like dying.
Yes.
And the insurance company's not paying them money. Like,
yeah.
This
and
guy is like
make
directly responsible for that. It's crazy. We live in a wild world.
It's
South
rough,
Korea
man.
just like had nearly a coup. France just like is overthrowing their government or something. I don't know.
It's crazy. Well, on that cheery note,
Blue Cross and Blue Shield walk. Oh, well, hold on. I have one more thing. So today, Blue Cross and Blue Shield walk back the decision to stop paying for anesthesia halfway through surgeries. So So a couple days ago, it was announced that Blue Cross Blue Shield was going to have a policy where like you were only pre-authorized for a certain amount of anesthesia. And then if you had any complications during your surgery or your surgery just takes longer than it's estimated to be, they would just stop paying midway through your surgery. And
God.
then the CEO of another healthcare thing, another health insurance company got shot, and then they walked that decision back.
Oh,
So now
yeah,
there's-
that's interesting. Huh.
So now,
Well,
there-
on
That's
that
right.
rage-inducing note, it's fine. Everything's fine. Civilization's fine. This is going to be fine. I think I'm going to go play some video games. Okay.
I think Katie's gonna cry.
Well, thank you so much for listening. This has been our uplifting and happy episode of Overthinking Games, a podcast about what video games can teach us. Thanks so much for joining us, and join us next time. If you have thoughts about simulations, direct experience, watching streamers, existentialism, or whether Dempsey should start a religious cult, send us an email. It's in the show notes, and we will catch you next time.
or if you want to join my religion, bye.
He is recruiting actively.
See ya.